Hey, it's Mark, and I'm back with another video. So, in case you don't follow my Twitter X account, I put out a tweet the other day. It was actually on Friday. The the CEO and CFO of ChargePoint um, resigned. So I'm just gonna pull it up so I can make sure I'm accurately discussing it here. So it was on Friday. I believe it was actually during market hours. The CFO the CEO and CFO are leaving the company, and CHPT ChargePoint was down about 35% on the day. The stock was down. So they gave a revenue warning. They released their preliminary third quarter results, and at the same time, the CEO and CFO are leaving the company. So if you've been following any of my videos the past few months or so, it seems like almost every video now I've talked about the charging stocks, these EV charging stocks, and my short bias on them that I've had for a while now, and I've traded the puts in them like a few times now so far. Like I did really good last time on the like BL&K puts, and I've been in and out, I've been just in and out of them, weeklies and monthlies sometimes. But I decided like a couple weeks ago just to go ahead and buy the ones farthest out I could get, like months out. And my patience really paid off on the CHPT because I just kept adding more puts. But unfortunately, I could have had a bigger position, of course, but that's just the way it is, But the good news is, I mean, we know there's definitely some weakness there, so I expect there'll be just more bad news for these other ones, like BL&K is the other one that I've talked about a lot. And it had that spike up, and I don't think their earnings or the news that's come out, like the news flow the past few weeks hasn't really, to me, justified that big of a move in the stock. It was up almost like 100%. So I think it's basically a short squeeze, like mini supernova. And like I was saying in the other videos, these little short squeezes, they can be really good shorts too because the volume just dries up too. The volume just kind of stops and then they go down. So um, my focus tomorrow on Monday is just going to be to add more puts to these to BL&K. Like I bought a bunch of these the other day, and I've added more on the first red day there because that was what I was looking for, was the first red day for to be the signal for the get just to get in short side. So I'm looking at that one for more puts, and the EV go too. Um, this data feed's not showing up right, so let's look at another feed here. I think it did. Yeah, it did the same kind of thing as the BLNK. It had that little pop up with the little market rally. So that's really nice. That's kind of what I was looking for. I was looking for some spikes to get in more puts. I mean, I wish I just had more in the HCHPT, but um, I had just like one strike on. I had the $3 strikes on the CHPT. So I'm just gonna hold those because they're actually they expire in like a week. So usually after news like that, the stock's gonna get more sell off. Something bad like that, something really bad news like that, it's not gonna rebound, the next day. But we'll see. But I think it's gonna be lower in the next week. So there may even be opportunity to get some more puts here. I mean, it'd be nice actually if we got a spike up, then I could buy some more puts. But I might still buy some regardless too in the CHPT because that's where the bad news is at the moment, and I think it's gonna trickle to the other ones too. Like I know, like I've seen like stories, like anecdotal stuff on EVgo, and they're I've seen like pictures, of their charging stations. Like I'm not in California, and I don't have an electric car, but I mean, not that like there's a lot of these charging stations anyway, but I think I think but I have seen the EV go, so their visibility is you know a lot more than the smaller ones. Like I've never seen the blank pictures or anything, or like I don't really talk to people that use charging stations, but the press has been awful on these lately. The Wall Street Journal did an article on how bad just the I read another article that they don't have working stations a lot. They're just not really kept up. The upkeep's not really good on them. So the other thesis behind it was that Tesla Tesla is going to try to take as much of the market as they can and cater to more brands and manufacturers, that as many as they can, because that's a good business model for them, just to be the go-to charging station for all makes and models. Not even for others, not even Tesla, like Ford, and I think they got some American cars, like I think it was GM. They got licensed with them or whatever. But so it's good stuff, for this trade here. So that's my main focus really this week, is just making sure I've got more size on these charging puts, on the puts on these companies. But like these articles have just been pretty bad. Like I tweeted out one of them to here it is. Why are so many EV chargers broken? Like I think that was on Friday too, Thursday or Friday. I think it was Thursday. So the press has just been bad. Look, it even says, if you can see that, it says Tesla. Looks like they charge the Teslas too. The EVgo charges the Tesla cars. So yeah, I really don't see like. I think Tesla's gonna have a good shot at having the most market share out of all these companies. So this is more bad news for them. I mean, I could be wrong. Like, I think the way I would be wrong is if one of these companies gets bought out. But I don't know if that's a good idea for a parent, like a company that's going to want to buy them. I mean, like the cash burn's pretty significant now, and I mean, it's not really much of a brand name. I mean, if you're a car maker, you just use your own brand like Tesla does, or I don't know. I mean, it is possible they could get bought out, but I'm not sure what the value would be there, because I'm always trying to think what could be wrong on things. But I mean, they could just somehow get like raise a bunch of capital too or something. But with the stocks going lower and lower every month, it's going to be even harder to get some to raise equity, and so it's good stuff going on that. But my puts on CHPT were up like 1,000% on Friday, and I'm gonna hold some. I'm gonna hold and see if we get how much lower this stock's gonna go next week. So that's pretty much the gist of why I did the video. I found this other one too. This NAK. It's a really liquid stock, and just had a really nice triangle going, and the relative strength's been really strong the past month. It's a rare earth elements miner, and they mine some other elements too. Like, it's not just rare earth. They do. I'm just gonna look that up. I think it was like might have been copper or something too. It's like another common metal. Yeah, it's they have 100% interest in pebble copper, gold, moly, silver, rhenium project. 274 square miles of property in Alaska and the U.S. It's been around since the 80s, and the stock hasn't really done much. Like the thing I just saw was the triangle, so that was kind of why I like it. Plus the relative strength, and it's actually got a base going too. Like it did a nice little bottom there. You can see it based out there, and then just did like a rounding. It's like a rounding bottom, and then that's like the major level that it that's the major level that it had to break out of. So it broke out, retested, and then triangled off of it. So it's looking really good, and it's got liquid options too. The calls I think I got some of the calls already on Friday. At least, yeah, I put on like a small size on Friday, and I'm maybe looking to buy more of these too, more calls. And they had really liquid call options, which was surprising because it's like such a penny stock. But the I guess just the amount of volume it trades, the options are really liquid. And I bought the 50 cent calls strike, and the hood came back too. Like this hood's very well going to try to bottom here, I think, because it caught that level there. But I'm just gonna wait for it. I want to see it like hit 830s, 840. I think if it's green tomorrow, I might be putting on like a small size, some calls like far out. But ideally it breaks over like 850, 860 to be confirmed range there, like a bottom off of that. And we had, yeah, I mean the market's still holding in pretty well. Like it very well just might keep running. I mean we got the regional banks are still holding that level really well that I was talking about here. Like it tested off of it. It tried to break down there and then just keeps holding it. So I think if the regional banks are participating in this rallies here, that's that bodes pretty well for like some follow through, because that's kind of the only elephant in the room for anything really nasty with the economy, or fairly nasty. And semis are still holding in. Yeah, the way stuff's going, it looks just like, I mean, looks like he's gonna keep going here. And that's like XHB did like a high flag. Like look, that's a high flag right there. And I haven't checked the futures markets yet, but let's see. Yeah, it looks like it opened a little bit lower, but yeah, it's pretty much it's a pivot area here. If we don't hold this uptrend, this momentum, then it's broken, and then we gotta look at this level here. It's gonna come back and test that level if it breaks. But I'm more long bias, and but I'm just running the same scans. Like I always run the same scans every night, like the gap downs, and well, almost every night. Like sometimes I miss a night or two, but like my gap downs and supernovas. But I haven't really looked through those that much on the weekend. So my main focus is just getting watching these charging stocks. But I'm seeing a lot of stuff still moving. And let's see what the gap down. Yeah, I already checked the gap down scan. It had 7. The gap down scan had only 7 stocks. Nothing really nothing really amazing setup wise. So yeah, the Adobe's still hanging in there. But yeah, pretty much the this knack is like my favorite long bias, and of course the chargings or the short bias. So that's about it. And I traded rig. I bought some rig puts on this that move off that triangle there, and we'll see. Like right now, it's not looking too good, but still got a couple days, maybe 1 or 2 days left for this triangle to sort of finish out. It's kind of a surprise there. It did Friday, but it just kind of moved with. It's been moving with oil really well, so that's kind of one of my favorite ones to play with oil sometimes. Yeah, it's like it just keeps gravitating back up toward channel resistance there. So and the futures themselves, yeah, it actually broke out. So yeah, that's pretty nasty for my puts there. But um, we'll see. Probably like another day. If it holds green today or tomorrow, or Monday and Tuesday, it looks like a trend change because this down channel resistance is gonna break, and like it really puts up 2 green days in a row, and that was like it's basically a bullish engulf candle there because it's totally taken out that red day. So I'm kind of watching. I was watching the Neo too because it's these charging companies. The EV charging are kind of related to the EV stocks too. So you know, if this variable might break down soon here too. Like it looks like the volume is showing more sells, like that big day there and there. Like there was a lot of selling there, but it's not comparatively. It's not a lot versus like the other spike days. But the other one is, well, of course, Tesla. It's actually Tesla's got the good fundamental. I mean, it's got the good technicals going because it's got that head and shoulders there. It's basically kind of like a rounding bottom. But that's probably the best looking one out of the ones I follow. What's the other one? Lee. Yeah, Lee. Yeah, it kind of did. It had a similar spike as the EV charging companies, and it's got this channel going now. So it's not very bearish because it's got this channel it's holding really well. So it needs to break that channel first if it's going to be a short. But that's when I might start watching that one too because it has technicals really well. Like it trades well with these technicals. Like you can see these channels. It just trades in these channels really well. So once it breaks below the channel, that'll be a good short. Or like a puts situation. So yeah, I'll just call it a wrap there, and I'll do some more videos later in the week.